Pokémon Scarlet and Pokémon Violet have a pretty interesting plot that seems to be finished, but I'm pretty sure it isn't. And I am also pretty sure you think the same, at least from the reception I got from my DLC video. But I'm also pretty sure that nothing we see in that plot is exactly as it seems. This is my warning because there are really major spoilers ahead. Hey, I'm not so a strainer and it just isn't real. Let's get into it. The final hours of Pokémon Scarlet and Pokémon Violet are some of the best, if not the best, we ever seen in the Pokémon game. They slowly build up every storyline only for it to culminate in a strange battle against the Professor's AI. And they seem to tell us that we're dealing with time travel. All those paradox Pokémon, be them ancient or futuristic, they came from another time. That's case closed, right? Well, no. If you've been following the channel for a while, and if you haven't, start now, I make Pokemon content. But if you have, you'll probably remember a video about it not being time travel in Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet, and another more recent one about the hidden one. But if you do remember those, there have been a lot of comments telling me that it is actually time travel in my old video. But I think they're all wrong. This game takes us on a journey to find our own treasure. Everyone is trying to find their treasures, just like they were back in the days of the expedition to Area Zero. This expedition, depending on your version, was going for either ancient relics or lost civilization technology. It is all written in the Scarlet and Violet books. Strangely enough, they actually found them. We have reports of Great Tusk and Iron Threads being in the Great Crater of Paldea 205 years ago. Not just drawings, but actual photos. But didn't Paradox Pokémon come from the big time machine built by Professor Sada or Professor Turo in modern times? Yeah, something doesn't make sense here. As we progress down Area Zero, we find out about a lot of things. Professor Sada or Turo discovered that all terrestrial energy and even the energy they used for the time machine came from a specific being. Probably this being, the disc Pokemon discovered by Heath, who has a partner Cyclozar, which is very interesting considering Sada technically finds Koraidon and Turo finds Miraidon, two Pokemon that are the paradox versions of Cyclozar, their idol's partner. We also find out that at the same time they found Koraidon or Miraidon, they were expecting a new life to treasure, probably referring to Arven. After this, they mentioned that their assistant left shortly after the baby was born. In Professor Turo's case, he mentions a woman, while in Professor Sada's case, she mentions a man. I am thinking that they are the opposing professors working with them on the project. And I'm also thinking, from the way it was phrased, that Arven might not have been entirely born under normal circumstances. This ends up with them saying that they wish there was two of them. And finally, we find out that the new assistant they got is incredibly good and productivity has doubled and all that. And we also know from playing the game that said assistant is most likely the AI version of them. One that cannot leave the crater or it will simply stop working. Everything they wanted they eventually got. We know there was a rumor that Clavel was working with them, and in the beginning of the game, it seems really surprised that they actually accomplished what they set out for, as if it was basically impossible. The time machine, something very crazy to think about, was actually made by a team of what seems to be two humans or one human and one AI. Said AI came to existence after there was a wish for it to happen. Arven might have been the same case. But the mention of a paradise for the three of them might mean Arven, Sada or Turo and the other Sada or Turo. It could also be the Professor, Arven and Koraidon or Miraidon. Another thing that gets my brain running is the fact that we never saw any grave for Sada or Turo, any mention of where their body is. I know this is a Pokemon game, but if you tell us that they were brutally murdered by a paradox Pokemon, might as well show us the place to mourn. The confirmation of a powerful being, a guardian even, that basically powers up Terrasal and even the time machine, the fact that everyone found what they wanted, their own treasure inside the Great Crater of Paldea, means that we are dealing with a Pokemon capable of changing how things are. A Pokemon capable of creating its own reality, and it is doing so according to people's wishes. Maybe the existence of two different worlds, the world of Pokemon Violet and the world of Pokemon Scarlet, is also connected to that disc Pokemon. We've always had different worlds per save file, but never worlds so different. So there was no time travel involved, none at all. What there was the incredible power of a Pokemon to create. The incredible power to transcend all the limits of reality. And this is not all. I mean, the crazy part is over and that's my part, but I decided to add this comment that I got on my Hidden One video by Kitten Tamer. They say, and I quote, "The game has a theme of lying and questioning reality. Literally every single character lies to you at least once or twice. Penny, Clavel, Arvan, and even Nemona lies about her reason for following you. When you encounter the Elite Four, they give you a questionnaire to make sure you are not a liar. We should not be taking the AI professor's claim that it's a time machine as fact or gospel. They could very well be lying like every other character in the game has lied at least once before, with good intentions. Therefore, it's not a time machine, it's powered by whatever force is powering everything else. I absolutely agree with this, and to add some fuel to the fire, as I was scavenging the text dump for the game looking for extra clues, I found out that the name of the text files for the Area Zero is Atlantis, etc, etc. You know, the fictional island of Atlantis. Also, does that look like a disc/egg Pokemon to you? It kinda does to me. There are so many mysteries waiting to be solved, and all of them point to a completely different plot from what we were told. For example, the drawings of the strange mix of legendary beasts and the strange mix of the Swords of Justice. They hint at the changing of reality being the theme, since the origin story of the legendary beasts has nothing to do with them being only one. What if they found out that what came from their minds actually turned out to be real, and those drawings were a test to see if they could create something incredibly powerful? Something that would only make sense in the world of imagination. We also have this strange phantom memory entry that Heath wrote with his handwriting but with no recollection of writing it himself, which could be where both worlds actually collided. The Heath from one world contacted the Heath from another world. There's also this mysterious plate mentioned in the Scarlet and Violet books, probably this one we find in Area Zero. What does that strange symbol that also was in the cover for the games mean? Why does it have a map of Paldea, and why are those specific locations marked? There are 10 of them and they don't completely align with anything we know about. What about these symbols in the ground of the hidden cave in the Great Crater? What are these? There's a plethora of things that we can't even begin to understand, but they all point to one simple thing. The game is lying to us. We do not know the whole truth. And that is all I have for you today. I believe the game is lying to us, and I believe that Clavel knows a lot more than is showing. And I also believe that Sada and Turo might appear on the opposing games in the future DLC for Pokémon Scarlet and Pokémon Violet. But what about you? How do you feel about the plot of the game? Do you think it's time travel? Let me know in the comments down below. And now, like the video if you like it, dislike if you don't, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more Pokemon content, and also ring the bell so you know when the next video is out. You can follow me on social media and Twitch. I stream there Wednesday to Sunday, not Saturday, or join our Discord. All the links are in the description. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all on the next one.